instances of paranormal phenomena have been reported in this desolate place. Events that may reflect the area's tragic past.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Dangerous Podcast, where we talk all things paranormal. I'm Ken James, and this is Jason McKittrick. And if you can haunt, howl, or dwell in the dark, we want to talk about it.
Nosferatu November.
I got you.
Oh, okay.
I got you. Welcome back to episode 2 of Nosferatu November. Tonight...
Fucking bats again. You hear that?
They're in the right spot.
Oh, okay.
They're in the right place, because this is what we're talking about.
There's a fucking vampire down here?
Yeah, after your little display. Oh, no, God! No, there's no vampire. Maybe upstairs. I don't know.
Well, certainly sucks the life out of me, I'll tell you that.
But if we can haunt, howl, or dwell in the dark, we want to talk about it. And tonight, we are going over our top 5 vampires in pop culture and film. And also, our favorite Dracula.
So, right off the top, just like with our toy episode, we couldn't say Ghostbusters was our favorite toy line because it's just the best. Yeah. Everything else falls below it. Everything else is a folie à deux.
Right.
I had to, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
So Dracula, he's the best. We know Dracula's the best.
Yeah.
So we're actually just going to have at the end, we're going to have a little, favorite incarnation of Dracula,
right.
Our favorite version. But for our 5 favorite, we have specifically tried to not include portrayals of Dracula. One may have leaked in there.
Yeah, one may have leaked in there.
Of a proper Drac.
Yeah, I mean, Drac.
You've been Dracked.
Yeah, you've been. Yeah. So, all right, and I wanted to just preface this by saying I don't think on our list we were allowed to say Dracula from Monster Squad. Because
just can't say Dracula, period, because it just... Look, there's some immortal ones on here. Yes, we're going to talk about our favorite incarnation of Dracula.
Okay.
But there's just some... We're going to talk about all of them here.
Yeah.
But just for this 5, we just want to talk about some other ones that we love.
Right.
We know and love. And...
our guys.
Our guys.
These are our guys.
And gals.
And gals.
And we're going to have some honorable mentions after that didn't make the list that just need to be talked about. Mm-hmm. And we're going to have
a piece of shit Dracula or vampire at the end. We're gonna call out POS.
Count Facula.
Yeah.
Whoa! Or like a dude who has like the fangs, and he tells you that they're the fangs from the TV show.
I wish I could say this guy that this is a real story. Me working at the casino, there was a guy in the poker room.
Yeah.
Used to go by the name Count Stacula, as in stacks of chips, and he had tattoo vampire bites.
Please tell me he's dead.
Oh, I don't know what happened to him.
Count Stacula.
When I was in security,
was he wearing these sunglasses the whole time too?
Oh, dude, he would try to like dress up like a cool vampire. It was the silliest thing.
I hate it.
Yeah, it was so bad. And he'd come in, they'd call me like Count Stacula to table 19, and he'd like. And I'd just be like, fuck, look at you.
Yeah. You know that kind of reminds me of? That one dude on MMR. The one dude, what's his name?
Jackie Bam Bam.
Dracky Bam Bam.
Yeah, well, he goes by Dracky Bam Bam.
And King Dracula or something.
Dude, I
had it on one night. I was literally like this. I was like, I can't listen
when
to
I was on Grave, that would happen. And I saw him once. I was at the River Deck at Kavanaugh's for my friend Erica's birthday.
Yeah.
Shout out to Erica. I'm going to kill you one day. We were at a birthday, and the Rolling Stones were coming through, and they were doing like a giveaway and he was right on there with WMMR on the river deck, and he comes over to our group. He's like, "Are you guys here for Stones tickets?" Like in my face, and I was like, "Dude, no, and I'll fucking murder you.
Get away from me.
Get away from me." Sorry, guys.
He looks like the Goblin Blix from Legend. Exactly.
Miroiki.
That's my least favorite vampire.
Okay.
Because he's not one. Okay. I saw him eating some garlic pizza.
So he's not a
No. He's a Stacula.
Sorry. Piece of shit. Yeah. All right, so I guess you want me to kick this bad boy off?
Buddy.
All right, I'm gonna kick this one.
You open the coffin.
Yeah, I'm going to kick this one right in the teeth.
Superb.
All right. So my first one is Bill Paxton from Near Dark. Okay.
Ooh.
Now, I always heard about it, and I know I saw it at some point when I was a kid, but in the last 4 years, this has become one of my favorite horror movies. It's, in 80s, like, it's one of the ones they don't give you so much backstory.
Right.
You get it in, like, exposition a little bit throughout. Bill Paxton's character, he's just,
Yeah.
it's like shit kicker, man. He's like, finger licking good. Like, he's just such like he's an asshole.
Oh yeah,
he's such an asshole.
Oh, yeah. He chews the scenery in that.
Oh
movie.
yeah, he's got fucking the spurs on, and he's like, it all comes down to that bar scene, right? Where like they're trying to get the what's his name to eat for the first time, and also cool little thing. My beer of choice is hams, and when Homer is dancing on the bar, he's dancing in front of a ham sign. Yeah. So this Halloween, it was going into my birthday. I took a picture of my hams with him dancing in front of the sign.
Nice.
Said happy birthday.
I saw that post.
It was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bill Paxton, he's so menacing. He's such like one of those guys. He's one of those like, I just want to fucking kill. I don't care. Like, one of those just bastards in a movie.
I like how dirty they are. Like, they look like they smell.
Because they do.
Yeah.
Oh, they definitely do.
Yeah.
Because they're on the road. They're in the desert. They're
road vamps.
Road vamps. Yeah, man.
Yep.
In motels, just like going through their bullets and shit on there, and like, I love that movie. And Bill Paxton he's a keeper.
I don't know. It's a great movie, and I like how many members of the cast of Aliens are also in
right.
You got Bill Paxton, you got Lance Henriksen, and you also have Jeanette Goldstein, who plays Vasquez.
Yeah, man.
So
racked out in that one too, man.
She's always been racked out.
Yeah, no, it's an awesome cast.
I know a secondhand anecdote about her. Actually, I can't even say it, so never mind.
Okay, all right. No.
That happened at a horror convention.
Well, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
That's my first pick off the bat. He's got it all. He's got it all in there.
I don't know. I hear you, man. He's great, and there's a reason why he's the dude that's on the poster.
Right.
When he's got the sunglasses on, he's half burned.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great stuff. Great Paul.
Thanks, man.
All right. So for my first pick coming up is Lestat from Interview with the Vampire, 1994. I hate Tom Cruise. I hate Tom Cruise, but that hatred goes into this character because you're supposed to hate this fucking character. Right. He is such an asshole in this movie, and I forget who said it, but there was a couple actors who were like, "That's the real Tom Cruise." They're like, "That's how he acts. Like that's him. Like being just like dickish and like jumping on couches or whatever." Doesn't he punch Oprah a few times? Yeah. I don't know. Sure. He's great in this movie because he literally pulls off that whole snobbish, aristocratic, like vampire.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, dude, I've seen Interview with the Vampire easily 150 times.
My favorite part is when you think he's dead and they leave him in the swamp and he's at the piano.
Yep.
I love that shit.
Yep. And the other life of the Mississippi. He's got like the drapes are over the so good.
Yeah. Big time.
Big time. That movie, yes, it's a Louis movie, but he gets to be the vampire in that movie. Lestat is the vampire. He's the guy he's playing with no rules. He's a piece of shit. He does what the fuck he wants. And he's the end of that movie. Like, he's like, I'm going to give you the choice I never had. Like, amazing. Yeah. Like his scenes are so good, and he's such a bad guy that like I love it. And it just, I don't know if it's a testament to his acting ability or just that he's just so much like that in real life, but like
that he finally shines, as it.
Seriously. I mean, Brad Pitt's great in that movie, but he's the one who's conflicted and has human feelings. Like, no, I want to see a vampire that just does what he does.
Yeah, I want to see a vampire pull the Drac,
Yeah, no, he's fucking great in that movie. And nice pull. Yeah, when he comes out of the when she slits his throat, he's like, "Oh, put me in my coffin. I'll put you in your coffin." It's
she's terrifying too in that. Now that we're talking about that though, like the idea of like the little girl, just luring you, like even like the movie, Let Me In or Let the Right One In, whichever.
It's become a trope that a vampire that's in a child's body, but it's hundreds of years old.
Homer was one of them in Near Dark. And that is the scariest thing. It's like all this power and all this hidden behind this innocence, and that's a monster. You know what I mean?
It sure is. They kind of give you, it's cool that they give you in that movie. I know, whatever. Say whatever you want about it. And I know it's different than the books. I know. Don't at me. But it's I really like his portrayal of this aristocratic, snobbish vampire coming to the colonies and being this, a projection of the old world type of vampire, and just, he's so good.
Fucking awesome, man. Yeah, I love it. All right, moving to my next one. I was racking my brain thinking about the coolest video game vampires. There's some cool ones in like Metal Gear, the dude Vamp, and there's a couple cool ones out there. I didn't want to go Castlevania. I didn't want to go, a couple different lanes. Vampire the Masquerade. So I ended up going with Raziel from Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver.
Great games.
And if you remember that opening, I remember it was like, oh my god, you seeing those graphics, and you're like,
yep,
this cinematic,
yeah,
and like you're like, oh, what, like this is a video game, like
that was
oh my
fun
god,
game,
and yeah, and it opens up with you're this dude who's just a soldier, and they fucking rip his fucking, they bleed him, they rip his jaw off, they take the bones out of his wings, and they just cast them into the pit, and the whole game is you just fighting your way out as this like.
Almost like a zombie vampire.
A zombie demon vampire.
Yeah.
That like...
Yep. Clawing your way back to the top.
Yeah, it's so cool, man.
Yeah.
And his character design, like, he's got that, like, super pixelated, PlayStation 2 graphics.
Dude, that game was fun as hell, though.
Yeah.
Like, that was a great game.
Yeah.
Even some of the lesser sequels were even still fun.
Right.
I like how you could drain blood from a distance.
Yeah. Because, in the original, my buddy Murdoch, he was like, I got this game, it's called Legacy of Kain, and you're a vampire. I was like, what? And it was for, like, PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
And he let me borrow it, and that's what you do. It's, like, kind of like a top scroller type deal.
Yeah.
And then to take the blood, you'd go, and it would do that. And you're like, oh, that's cool, Yeah.
I think a later version, he could just open his mouth, and the blood would just fly right into his mouth.
I like that. Yeah, that's good. Good stuff.
Yep.
But I love that game. The graphics at the time were state of the art, and what a cool spin on a vampire.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, so my next pick is Barnabas Collins from the Dark Shadows TV show. Even though I don't really mind the Johnny Depp version. It's
I like it. I like the Johnny Depp version.
It's got a lot of fun vampire shit in it. I know. Whatever. But this is from the TV show from 1967. I actually watched this quite a bit as a kid. There was I don't know what channel it was on, but like
it was on Sci-Fi.
Oh, that must have been what it was.
Yeah.
Because I like the theme song was played so often that it's like stuck in my head, and if we throw that right here. Yeah, everybody knows that. And the show is a soap opera, but it's a soap opera that like centers around this family, this haunted house. There's vampires, there's werewolves, there's ghosts. But Barnabas Collins, born like 1770s, the son of the Collins in Collinsport, Maine. He was going to marry this woman, and then all this stuff happened where like. Maidservant kills the girl, and it's like, because she's jealous, and then she turns out to be a witch later on, and then he comes back. They
total fucking soap opera.
It is. Yeah, I mean, the movie sums it up a lot. Like that, like all those events in that movie take like a long time to unfold, but like. It's classic, like creepy '60s, like early '70s kind of stuff. When they show his coffin open for the first time, his hand comes out. That classic, it's just cool stuff. And he's like this, he's pretending, I'm the descendant, even though he has the pendant, he has the special cane, and like he's just a cool character, and and I think he was actually like the first. He was the first vampire to do like the moody thing. Like, I'm not a bad guy, but I am a vampire. But it's not my fault. Yeah. Like I just want to get my.
I don't want to be like this.
Yeah, I don't want. This sucks. He's like, I just want. I should have been dead a long time ago. Yeah. But as a kid, I just always thought it was cool because like you hear like the wacky music, the organ music, the.
I remember being really young, and the first time my dad was like, "Oh, check this out. This is cool."
Yeah.
But it was so slow, and
it's very slow, and you have to wait for payoffs. Right. But I would have it on in the background sometimes, just doing stuff, and it would be on, and I'd look like, oh shit, there's he's getting this girl. Like once an episode, you'd get like a monster scene. You know what I mean? And like, I was like in the Splat era of Nickelodeon, so it had to be like Sure.
You know?
And my mom, too, she was like, oh, we used to watch this as a kid. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I was like, oh, my mom watched the monster stuff, so I thought that was kind of cool. And, like, you know, so I had it on. I was like, well, my mom liked it, so it's got to be all right. So, like, I would just keep it on. I was like, oh, that's cool. So, like, this is, you know, from my childhood. You know, this is what this fucking podcast is. Had to put him on here because he's just a cool fucking vampire. And if you're talking about vampires, Barnabas Collins is going to come up eventually.
Yeah. Hey, man, I love it. Yeah. Great stuff. Now, my next one's the fucking Daywalker himself. Blade.
Okay.
Saved the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Created it.
Well, they were just going to be done with superhero movies. And here comes Blade.
Yep.
R-rated, fucking up Steven Dorff, you know? Fucking, oh, dude.
I saw it in the theaters.
Yeah, same. Just that opening scene in the club, the bloodbath rave.
Yep.
And he's just, oh, dude, he's just... clearing house. Dude, so good. And,
come on, Daywalker!
Yeah, oh god. And then in the sequel, I love part 2. Part 2, say what you will, whoever doesn't like it.
It's a good movie.
As far as I'm concerned, Blade 2 rock shit. Like that's
they both do.
Yeah, oh yeah. But like his character in those he's so cool, and we were just talking in the last episode. Yeah. That scene where he's, you know, on this crack squad of, you know, vampire hunting vampires.
It's such a comic book.
Yeah,
that movie.
And you know, the guy's like, you know, I got it from right here. And, and he's Chupa's like, you know, looks like he's got you, brother. You know. Yeah. And he's just sitting there with the smile. You know, like. Yeah. Oh, he was so cool too. And then the blade guns. Like,
they're badass.
Oh, dude. Yeah. And like the stuff that they like, even like the punching with the Imodium sign or whatever.
It was garlic.
Yeah. Garlic, whatever, but oh man, there's so many cool weapons. It's got all that shit you want as a kid.
I like the second one. The second one's pretty cool, but the first one has like a lot more believability and edge, and he's got like the whole like they don't say it, but he has like this whole like samurai thing going on where he has like then when he goes to finally go kill Deacon Frost, he like takes the plant out and cuts the roots. It's like, oh, that's fucking cool. Yeah. His sword, it was just very, you know, like the trap on it, but then you could tell he could like meditate it in front of the sword. Yeah. He was much more that like, you know, that like focused warrior type who had his mission. And Steven Dorff getting killed, you know, awesome. I mean, there's some the effects are a little dated here and there, but it's still a really fun movie. And
I loved the effect that they came up with them like disintegrating from the wound. That was badass.
Yep. And then you know, Chris Christopherson as Whistler.
Yeah. This is showing out. Yeah, just dude
smells like a vampire wiped his ass with it. Like, it's just a good movie, and like he kicks ass in that movie. And then just like the scenes where like, you know, then he has to take the serum, and like, you know, but then the one scene he finally has to drink blood, and like that makes him super powered. Yeah, oh, he just fucking bitches up in that one scene.
And then in part 2, when he falls into the vat.
Yeah.
And, you know, Whistler throws him his glasses, he catches him. Yeah. And he comes out and he's fighting all the guys. Yeah. And he's doing, like, the Tonfa style, like, you know, like, and he sticks the glow stick in the one guy's mask, and then he picks the one dude up and just holds him for a fucking suplex, dude. Yeah. It's so badass. Yeah. It's so good.
Part 3, however.
Oh, God in heaven.
Where they try to put Dracula in it, and it's like, they just changed the character. Also, fucking Ryan Reynolds should have been shot and hung after he was in that movie. Yeah. And then they let him do Green Lantern. Yeah. And then
Right.
Anyway, third time's a charm with Deadpool, I guess.
Yeah, right.
No, man, Blade is bad fucking ass. And I remember, more childhood memories. I remember when that movie came out, Marvel released this figure of Blade. It was like one of their deluxe figures. He actually had a cloth, like, jacket. He had all the weapons, and it was literally for the movie. It was, like, super articulated. And I remember getting that. I was like, this is fucking awesome.
Right. And at the time, dude, like, you know, it's hard to see anyone play that role that isn't Wesley Snipes.
I know, man. And I hope this one that they're working on now goes through, because like that guy is like ready to jump ship. I mean, they must have. He's under contract, so he has to do it. But
he apparently was like, the script is bullshit, and the director sucks. Yeah, and he's like, what are you guys doing?
They don't know what they're doing. Exactly. But I don't want to get into this.
So they're So I like Mahershala Ali. I like him a lot. I think he would be awesome.
Yep.
They got to do it right. You got to do it right. You can't fuck around with Blade. You just can't.
No, and
they did on Spike TV where they made Sticky Fingers.
Oh yeah, what was that? The House of whatever, I forget what it was called. That show was terrible.
Yeah, it was bad. The rapper Sticky Fingers played Blade.
Oh, I remember.
I'm just saying, like,
I remember. I watched one episode. I was like, this is awful.
Yeah, poop. This is hiney poop.
It's poopies.
Butt poopies.
Yep, liquid poopies.
All right, so that was Blade. I love me some Blade.
Oh, great fucking character. And dude, if you even talk about the comic version of him, I know, but he showed up like originally just I'm here to kill Dracula.
Right.
And like he was just badass.
Yep.
Like just so badass. So awesome shit, man. All right, moving right along. So my next pick, take you back to 2008.
Okay.
Because man, this show, fucking Eric Northman from True Blood. Listen, he's the character that made me like, all right, we'll finish watching this, because like the first like episode or two, I was like, this is fucking terrible, because those first couple episodes are really schlocky, and the whole show kind of as a whole was, but like he was awesome. Yeah. And I was like, oh, a vampire sheriff? What does that mean? And then like, oh, and then when he delved into his past, he's like 1,000 years old, and then like just all these wacky adventures and shit he went on, but just like how brutal the dude was originally. They kind of messed with him a little bit down the road.
Yeah, they
like,
did.
Whatever.
They softened him up with Sucky.
Sucker. She's not that hot. Actually, she's not hot at all. Gross. Not a fan.
Damn, and a Paquin shade. All right.
Ugh, she's not Rogue either. That's Jubilee that they kind of...
Yeah.
I don't want to get into it.
Leave that here.
Leave it here. But really liked his character. I thought he was really fucking cool.
He was awesome.
He brought like a little bit of like a historical kind of like gravitas to the show. A little bit that it needed. It's still fantastical as hell. But like Bill was like whatever. Oh, he's a Civil War guy. I get it. It's kind of cool. But this dude was like, 1,000 years old. No, not 175 years. Yeah. 1,000. I'm like, all right, that's really cool. And
his master was kind of cool too, like he was
Godric.
and he was this like I don't even know what like was it Native American? It wasn't Native American. No, what was it like? What tribe? It was like a tribal. He was like a tribal. He had like the tattoos and stuff.
If he had tattoos, maybe he was he could have been like a Celt or a Pict,
something like that. Yeah. But I thought that was so cool because the episode where they showed Godric finding him, Northman, he's like trudging through in like the far land because they were raiding, and like. Yeah, he's like, oh, warrior, bro. He starts talking to him, and he's just like, oh, dude, that was badass.
I didn't like rewatch stuff, but when I was researching for this, I delved back into it a little bit. I was like, dude, rehire what's his name, Alexander Skarsgård, and do a series of him just in the Viking times. I mean, that's basically just the Northman. That's literally, they're like, it's just a prequel for True Blood. Right. But like, dude, I would love to see him in like vampire shit back then, or like just him, because he's awesome. Yeah. And the other shit is like. It's like, although Lafayette was a bad motherfucker. Dude. Bad motherfucker.
All day Lafayette.
Yeah, he's...
R.I.P.
I mean, R.I.P. My favorite character in that show.
Yeah, he was so good. He made, like, all the, like you said, schlocky stuff. Like, he made all that kind of stuff bearable.
Yeah, and then the first time he gets high on V on the show, he's like fucking twerking and shit. Yeah. Or that part when those fucking bigots come into the restaurant, and they're like, because they don't want him cooking his food, and he fucks that one dude up. Yeah, so good.
Yeah, dude, awesome.
Yeah, good shit.
Miss you, Lafayette.
Oh yeah.
All right, so
what you got?
My next one, the vampires from 30 Days of Night,
which is also on my list, but we can double up because there's a whole group of them.
Yeah, right. And it's so funny thinking of first Grandma's Boy, the. What's his name? You will be mine sit on my face. He's one of those vampires. Yeah, I know. It's so funny.
JP.
Yeah, JP. And he's also in Dodgeball. And like for him to play those roles, then you just see him as like this crazy ass looking vampire. I'm like, all right, man, get it. Go get it, man.
Get it, girl. Yeah, I specifically appreciate Danny Houston plays him. Marlowe. He's the leader because. They gave him their own language. I was like, this is cool. And like, I remember watching them behind the scenes for the movie. I mean, the comic is whatever, but I hate that guy's art. But on the movie, sorry, I've thrown all kinds of shade. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm particular. I was watching the behind the scenes, and they actually based it off of old Quechua, which is the old Mayan language. Okay. Because they wanted it to sound old. Yeah. There's like clicks in it and like weird. I forget the word for it, but like vowels or something. I forget the word that they use, but like there's mouth sounds that we don't use in English. Like they were like, we specifically want this in there because it makes it sound ancient and almost not human. And like I really appreciate, and then how like shark tooth they looked, and the black eyes
and the claw hands. They're like they're actual. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
And
he's a bad dude in that movie.
The way they set the tone in the beginning with Ben Foster is a fucking awesome actor. The guy in the cell.
Ben Folds.
Brick Life.
Yeah. Hashtag Brick Life.
Hashtag get on it.
Get on it.
Yeah. But him being like in this cell, like he's kill you all, like the whole thing. You're like, who's this nut? Mm-hmm. And then obviously, okay, he's a familiar, and obviously the way they use this familiar is he goes in there,
kills the dogs, fucks with cuts brake lines,
and then
readies the town,
and eventually too gets locked up. Yep. So this is where the police are. This is their security. Like, he has the first hand in of or first hand view of the whole town, and obviously it gets passed on. They know, and that scene, dude, when it's just overhead going through, and they're just slaughtering everyone, man.
It's a great concept. I mean, and the comic, like, I'll give them that. Like, that's a great concept. They go up to Barrow, Alaska, where it's like it's 30 days of night.
Yeah.
Which is a great concept because of like vampires go up there to fucking like party every year. Like it's it's like vampires Cremation of Care, the thing from the dude, I have no words today. I'm so sorry.
The Bohemian Grove Cemetery.
Bohemian Grove. It's like their version of Bohemian Grove. Every year they go up to Barrow and they fucking it's like but
dial it up, people? Crank it up to 11.
Yep. It's a very cool concept, and like I remember seeing that. I was like, damn, I expected this to be stupid, but the movie's actually really good. And I like just what caught me, like I said, was like the attention to detail with the vampire language. And like it's like these fucking things are disgusting. And then the one scene where he's like about to kill the guy, the guy's like, oh god, and then he looks up, he's like, no god. It's like, oh shit.
Oh shit. Yeah, it's a movie. I liked it too. I'm not a big what's his fuck face,
Josh Hartnett.
I've never been, but I like him in that movie.
He's like a discount. Like no, because even he's discount. He's got like a Charlie Sheen-ish kind of like a little bit of like Keanu Reeves-ish. It's like he'll do. Like you just put him in there. You know what I mean? Like
you know what I mean? Dude, did you watch that Penny Dreadful show?
I couldn't get through it.
I started it and I was like, I gotta finish it. And there's this one scene that is so cringy with him.
I know he turns into a werewolf, but
he's at like dinner at his dad's house, and like his dad's like a big like religious guy and this and that, and like you turn your ways and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So he's like, you're gonna say the prayer at the table. So he says the Lord's Prayer, but like all anti everything, like lead us into temptation. I was just like, this is the worst. It was so stupid.
Yeah, I watched some of that show. It was whatever. I mean, there was that one cool episode like you think it's the Frankenstein's monster, you think it's the origin, but it's just Frankenstein the doctor making a new monster, and then the original comes and just like rips the dude in half.
Yeah.
There was cool.
There was some cool stuff in the beginning, and then the ending was so comical.
Yeah.
Like me and my one buddy were talking about it, and like I'm from New York City. Dude, it was so bad. It ended so terribly.
It was dragging on for way too long. I remember the one, I was like, God, just get to the point. And I know people love that show, and it was one of those ones that just never like caught on for me. And it was not just because Josh Hartnett was in it. It was just like, I don't know, it just didn't catch on for me. And like Dorian Gray was stupid, and like I don't know, I just
there was a lot of silly renditions of these characters.
Yes, it was like an overlong version of that. Dude, I have no words today. It's so fucked up. I can see it and I can't fucking pull the word out. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
I was going there. Yeah. It was. They tried. they tried. I guess they just ran out of funding because it was canceled, and they're like, we had to wrap this up.
Yeah, but like every year, someone like, oh, are you a Penny Dreadful fan? I'm like, ew, are you?
Yeah.
Like, ooh.
Yeah. What do you mean? What do you mean? The show was deep.
Yeah. But anyway, 30 Days of Night. Yeah. Great shit, dude. Great shit.
Great movie. I love that movie. Yeah. Lots of brutal deaths in that movie.
Yeah, no, and actually just doing this list today, I was like, I gotta fucking watch that tonight. Yeah. Like, I haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah.
It's good times.
It's good times.
The sequels suck, though.
I wouldn't. All right, so my last.
It's my turn.
Oh, is it? Okay, I'm sorry.
Actually, no. That was both of ours.
Yeah,
so
right.
You can go.
Okay. The vampires from Dusk Till Dawn. They are. It's so wacky, and it's so bonkers, and it happens so fast. and like they all look so fucking kind of different. Like, well, not the ones in
Guitars
the
made out of a corpse with a leg.
Fuck you, everybody. Good night. Yeah, dude. But the whole idea of the truck stop being like an Aztec temple.
That's the best part. That's what, like when I was a kid, I saw that and I was like, okay, all right, because like I was a Tarantino head big time, and I was like, all right, I'm watching this like because the first half is a Tarantino movie, and then it just turns. Yeah, and that's when the Robert Rodriguez stuff started, and I was like, okay, like for me, like I didn't get the reference, like oh, this is like this movie that did this. Like okay, I was like, all right, those vampires were very fucking silly though. Like why did they do something? And I get it now. Now, but then at the end when they pull it together that they were Aztec vampires and snake-like, which is really cool because the Aztecs they worship
snakes.
I have a problem today.
You're all right, man.
Quetzalcoatl, or the Mayans refer to as Kukulkan. It's in here. It's just not coming out today.
But that's the thing. It's like you're like, oh man, I'm thinking like the simple words coming out, and it's some fucking.
That's why it's not coming out.
Right. But no, like, and I love like even. You look at the two. Well, there was 3 transformations you see, right? So you see Sex Machine, and his is kind of slower as it builds, and he's kind of like complete. But then when you see,
Salma,
he was like, you got to get it through me first,
Yeah.
When he changes, right, like his mouth is all weird and like
huge,
and like even how Sex Machine's talking about it, he's like they're like mushy, he's talking about it. So he's got the shotgun, but he's like big and like, but his mouth is so fucking weird.
Oh,
then,
Danny Trejo?
No. The guy that I was just saying, he has a shotgun in him when he changes.
Cheech?
No.
Tom Savini? Oh yeah. Shit. Oh, that's awful. What's his name? Because he's been in a million fucking movies.
Yeah, it's not Jim Brown.
No.
But him anyway. So when he changes. Like, I don't know, his mouth is cool. Like, they're all so different. And then when Harvey Keitel changes, he's already kind of like rotting. Which is, it's like, what's going on? Like, I like those little details of like, why is that like a thing? And then there's the big fat one with the mouth in her stomach.
Yeah.
And you're like, you guys are maniacs. Like, I know you're maniacs, but there's like some kind of method to there that I've never had explained to me why they like. They all change differently, and they have those like things.
There's a lot of like, I guess I'm gonna go here. There's a lot of avenues you can go down there because like when Salma Hayek's character, what's her name again?
Santo Pandemonium. Or Santago Pandemonium.
Yeah. She's like a legit snake. Right. So maybe they're these like. They're vampires, sure, but maybe because like they're in this Aztec temple, maybe they're like descendants of this like snake god creature. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Lovecraft. Right. The Curse of Yig.
Right, because then you also have ones that are straight up like bats too. Yeah. And then when Sex Machine loses his head, it becomes a rat. Like, it was just so like, I don't know.
It's like all like creatures of the underworld kind of stuff.
I loved that. And I think it's one of the cooler things.
Because there's an Aztec bat god, there's an Aztec snake god, there's an Aztec, I believe there's a rat god if I'm not mistaken. So it's like they put that together for sure, and I wonder if Robert Rodriguez drew from that and was like, hey, vampires, but like why not more of this like these creatures that I almost feel like there's so many human sacrifices there that maybe it like summon these like you know what I mean? Cool. Like it's cool that it's not explained. You know what I'm saying? Like that's actually the cool part. So,
that's what I mean. Like it makes my mind go like, whoa. Like I don't know.
If that wasn't in there, like that kind of would have been like, oh, like that's what makes it perfect. It, like you have these two things and you need to just fucking button them up, and that's the pyramid being there is what does it for me.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a dark night.
Yep.
Yeah, dude.
Yep.
It's awesome. The sequels though?
Oof.
We used to laugh because you get a Blockbuster, you get the video, and then have the trailers at the beginning, and one of them was from Dusk Till Dawn, I think 3. Yep. And Danny Trejo's alive somehow, and we'd always do it. It would just go, "You're just in time for dinner." Like that was in the trailer, and we used to cry laughing every time.
Dude, it's funny because like that movie, like you don't know that that's coming the first time you watch it. And I've watched like it used to be a thing when we were in college. We'd put that movie on with like people. We'd make sure, or we'd try to make sure, someone who's never seen it before, because you like that movie. The beginning half is packed with all that Tarantino shit.
Yeah,
and it's just like like Juliette Lewis, the whole like hey, would you eat my pussy for me? Like that whole shit. Like it's like what the fuck, and like there's just so many like what the fuck moments in the beginning of that movie. And it's just like, where is this going? And like, it's just, there's characters in the beginning of that, like the one sheriff, like he's in Kill Bill, and like, it's still that very much like Tarantino thing. And like, Tarantino's character murdering that woman, like in the hotel, like it's
not your fault. It's not your fault. Is this my fucking, what you are doing? What you are doing?
Yeah. Like, it's a legit, like, you could have had them had a shootout, and it would be like, oh, cool, this is a short, it's Tarantino short. But then it goes, like, it's so good, and to watch people watch the turn, they're like, what the fuck just happened here? Because it goes from like really serious, weird, dark, psychological shit to vampires. And not just regular vampire, like
Aztec,
berserk,
weird, crazy. Yeah. And that's the thing too, like, I love that beginning of it, because it lets you know just the type of bad motherfuckers you're dealing with.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
His little psycho brother breaks him out of jail.
Yeah.
But he's a sexual deviant. Like,
he's
big time fucked up, right? So to get to a point where you're rooting for these guys in the end,
it's crazy, because even the part where he's like, Richie, like they keep showing him, and they go back to it, he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, what? It's just like,
is this my fault? He's like, it's not your fault.
She tried to escape.
When you left, she was a completely different person.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's doing the blink thing, you know, like doing all the Clooney acting he can, you know, crazy blink, and then
Richie, what the fuck is yeah.
And he's eating the burger, and he's like, he smacks the burger out of him.
Yeah.
Say yes, I fucking understand, Seth.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like,
no, it's good times, and like I really like I said, like when I first saw it, I was like, okay, like I liked it, but like over the years, I'm like, nah, this is it's a laugh riot.
Yeah, honestly, it's one of my favorite movies. I can say that with. I don't want to be like, a silly vampire fucking movie is one of my favorite movies. But it's like,
dude, it's like a fucking it's like a 3-course meal, like, because you get the Tarantino movie, then you get the wacky vampire shit, and they bring it together with the big finale, and it's like, it's a crowd pleaser. Like, I love that fucking movie.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
Are you a preacher without his faith, or are you a mean motherfucking? What does he say? Child of Christ.
Or
servant of God.
Yeah.
Mean motherfucking servant of God. And he's like, I'm a mean servant.
Yeah. He still won't do it. Yeah. Even though his son just got like bit by like 10 vampires, and he blows up. Insanity.
That happens right after he turns, because his son hits him with the balloon.
That's right.
Yeah, and then like when he's out, when he gets bit, and he's out there, and they're like, Jacob, he's like, your dad's dead, and you hear, open the door, so they let him in. And he's like, I've been bit. I need you to promise me. Like, that's one of those movies that I could go the whole way quote. I could I could tell you the movie how it happens.
No, it's good times.
And I would love to tell it like it was like a campfire story. These two guys.
Yeah, there's two guys. Yeah, they just brought the Gecko brothers. They just broken out of prison.
And that dude at the it's still the funniest thing to me is the counter, the guy that works the counter. Yeah. Just like his job, and like he's like saying like, I deserve a fucking Academy Award for that. Yeah, he is. You're like, damn, man, that guy was like doing it, man. He was.
Oh yeah, and then and right off the bat, they show you that Tarantino's character like is a psycho, because he's like, he mouthed help. And it was like,
you were behind the, whatever.
Yeah, you didn't see it.
I saw his face, and he mouthed help us. You know what I mean?
Help us. Yeah. So then he's taping his hand.
Yeah. Spits the whiskey on it, dude. With his foot up in the,
Dude, we'll move on after this, but like, so many kids in my age group when we first watched the movie was like, dude, I wore out my VHS watching the dance scene. I'm like, and I get it, man. She's hot. I was like, all right.
It's like, oh man, if you want to see her naked, go watch Desperado.
Yeah,
like,
seriously.
Be a grown up. All right?
Or Frida. She's naked like 30 times in that movie. Anyway, so great movie. If you're listening to this and have not watched it,
Only After Dark. That's the song that plays there.
Yeah. So
if you haven't watched it,
seriously, what are you waiting for? Go watch it, and don't give me some bullshit. Oh, Tarantino sucks. Just go watch the movie.
Yeah.
So, good time. So I guess it's fine for my last pick, and I guess we're gonna be ending on our 5 on a little comedic pick, but gotta pick it because this character has become one of my favorite vampire characters. It's Nadia of Antipaxos from What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah, she's awesome, man.
Played by Natasha Dimitriou. I believe that's how you say it. Dimitriou? I don't know. Words. Yeah. Dude, she's awesome.
Yeah, she's great.
She's like, I love so many things about that show. Like, in the beginning, Nandor was my guy because he's so fucking funny. But, like, as it's gone on, no, Nadia is my favorite character.
She's great.
Her little doll.
I love, in the first season, when they're having their first quarrel with the vampires, and the one chick vampire keeps, like, zinging her, and the way she keeps looking at the camera, like...
I'm gonna fuck this.
Like this, can you believe this shit? Like, oh, dude, so good.
No, she's great, and like as time goes on, like she has become, in my mind, has become like the standout character because she's the most, in my opinion, the most interesting and has had like the most stuff happen to him. You know, this last season was kind of a waste.
I actually didn't even watch it yet. I haven't had time.
It's not great. However, she is still great.
Right.
They did weird things, and I don't care about the Colin Robinson character. I think he's kind of boring. But she's fucking great, and like she's just, you know, I was campaigning hard to get Christina to be her for Halloween this year. She's like, then I have to get the dress and the wig. I'm like, exactly.
My friend Vicky showed up as her.
Yeah. I was like, see, she did it. I'm like, I guarantee this costume wasn't more than $100.
Yeah, right. My favorite episode of that, though, is the Jackie Daytona episode.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
It's just the dude picking that.
Oh, no, it's good times. And Mark Hamill shows up in that episode.
Right. And the big mouth bass.
Yep.
You know,
There's an episode where the doll goes fucking wild, and it's like sword fighting Nandor. He's like, oh, she's like, this doll's pretty good. It's good shit. She's my standout favorite from the show. Awesome. And she's also hot.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, guys. That's part of why I think she's awesome, too.
Yeah. He's just a man.
No, man. Stunner. And then also just funny as hell. That's a dynamite package right there. So, Nadia of Antipaxos. Love it.
Great stuff.
So, some honorable mentions.
Let's have them. Let's hear them.
So, this is a hard list to do. I'm not going to lie. Like, I did research for the vampire episode, and that took, you know, a reasonable amount of time. This one, I was like, oh, God, how do I narrow it down to 5?
Right.
There's so many good vampires.
Right.
And, I mean, so, first on my list here and, you know, if you have any, throw them in. First on my list, have you ever seen the movie Only Lovers Left Alive?
Yes.
Awesome movie.
Yeah.
It shows
Tilda
you...
Swinton and Loki, right?
Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
And also... William Hurt, or is that John Hurt? John Hurt. I always get them confused for some fucked up reason, even though they should never be confused, because one is Kane from Alien, my favorite film. Ghostbusters is my favorite movie. Alien's my favorite film.
I got it.
Yep. Great fucking movie. It shows you what happens to vampires over time. They get bored.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Tom Hiddleston, he's Adam and she's Eve, which is like, okay, I don't know where this is going.
Yeah.
Because they never age them. They never say who's older or who comes from what. You kind of get an idea that Eve might be older, maybe. But then...
It's a little tongue-in-cheek.
Yep. But then John Hurt is playing Christopher Marlowe, who is the, you know, the purported actual author of William Shakespeare's works.
Right.
But it's really just about the two of them, just two people that are in love that, because they're so long-lived, they actually spend years and stuff apart just because whatever, I guess. Maybe it's a whole play on the whole distance makes the heart grows fonder.
Right.
But it just shows you, like, they have their two... This guy's a musician. She's like... I don't know, a woman of letters and very into literature, kind of like... And just a really interesting take on the vampires. And instead of him living in a tomb, he kind of lives in a metaphorical tomb where he lives in Detroit, where he's in like on the outskirts of like, the city where it's just like no one's going to really bother him. His familiar just gets him stuff. Like he just has wads of cash. It's a really good... I mean, I think we end up watching this movie quite often. And it's a really interesting idea of, like, what happens to people that have lived this long. And, like, bored, but then also, like, you know, it's like, you know, there's a lot of ennui in the film where they're just like, all right.
I guess I have an honorable mention, Fright Night, first Fright Night. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Who?
The main vampire, Fright Night.
Oh.
The neighbor.
Yeah, he plays Jerry. This is horrendous. Chris Sarandon.
And he's also the voice of Jack Skellington.
He is.
Yeah.
He's great.
Yeah, he's awesome in that. Super 80s, like...
Humperdinck.
Prince Humperdinck, yeah. But it's just, super 80s, super, he's got shoulder pads and scenes,
Yeah, no, he's awesome. Like, he goes for it in that
right.
movie.
And then when you get the full turn, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
I also don't mind the remake with Colin Farrell.
I watched a little bit of it.
Very different.
Yeah.
Very different. It takes place in Las Vegas, but Colin Farrell kind of pulls it off a little bit.
Right. I like Colin Farrell. Not everything.
I like about 10% of what he's done.
I think he's
The
hilarious.
Penguin
In
and-
Horrible Bosses, he's hilarious.
He is funny in that movie. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
He's such an asshole.
Yeah.
Doing coke in the bathroom.
Trim the fat. Trim the fat, what does that mean? Fire all the fat people?
Such a dick. No, it's a good pull because that's just one of those classic ones.
Yeah.
Like the kid who's obsessed with the vampires
Yeah.
and sees them there, and they get the dude who's like the TV vampire. He's like,
Right.
yeah, I don't really fight or hunt vampires.
Yeah.
I'm a guy on TV.
Yeah.
Good times.
Because, it's definitely... I had to bring it up.
Oh no, so good. Count Chocula, gotta bring it up. Everyone's favorite breakfast cereal of the monsters, apparently. Even to the point that they ran out of Count Chocula. Like the company that makes it, fucking General Mills, like they ran out of Count Chocula. I think it was the first or second week of October.
They were just done? They
had no more. I mean, you can get plenty of Fruit Brute, which is disgusting this year. And every other... Boo Berry was also missing. It was Fruit Brute and Frankenberry. I don't know what that says about those two characters, but Count Chocula is the clear favorite.
Yeah, I love how they're just like, enjoy your Boo Berry, you pussy. Like, that's all you're
I
getting.
mean, Boo Berry's fine. I like Boo Berry, but like Count Chocula is the clear favorite. Like everybody...
Yeah,
it's a chocolate
it's
cereal.
it's the icon. It's the symbol, man.
Yeah, no. I mean, him and Frankenberry came out at the same exact time. They were both released at the same time, so you can't say one is the original more. But... a chocolate cereal? Come on. I mean, it's it's a fucking vampire?
Yeah.
A fun
Right
vampire?
up Jay's alley. Strike. Right up your alley.
Yeah.
Right down the lane.
Yep. Right down Main Street.
Right in the wheelhouse.
Sick, bro. Do you remember... This was on Nick, old school Nickelodeon. It was on early in the morning sometimes, and they put it on Saturday. Count Duckula.
Count Duckula?
Yeah.
No.
Really? You don't know Count Duckula?
I thought you were about to hit me with Eureka's Castle and bring up Batley.
No, he's not a vampire.
Yeah, but he was, lived in the Belfry.
No. He was out during the day. Count Duckula. It looks like somebody... It looks like it belongs in the DuckTales universe.
Right.
He lives in a castle. He eats beets, I believe. He drains beets. Not like sick beets, but like
I know
like the vegetable.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
I'm gonna have to YouTube that one.
Yeah, and if we can get the theme song.
Castle Dracula, home for many centuries to a dreadful dynasty of vicious vampire ducks, the Counts of Duckula. Legend has it that these foul beings can be destroyed by a sting through the heart or exposure to sunlight. This does not suffice, however, for they may be brought back to life by means of a secret rite that can be performed once a century when the moon is in the eighth house.
Blood.
I'll get it! The latest reincarnation did not run according to plan.
In the heart of Transylvania, in the Vampire Hall of Fame, yeah, there's not a vampire in the other. He won't bite, feast the man, cause he's a vegetarian, and things never run to plan for. If you're looking for some fun, you can always count upon the wild and wacky one they call
Duckula.
Count Duckula.
Yeah, man. It used to come on, like, when I was a kid, I used to get up, like, super early for school. I went to fucking Catholic school. I had to get up, like, every weekday. I had to get up at 5:45. But this show was on every morning, and it's a British cartoon.
So you were rocking out with Count Duckula.
So Count Duckula, hey, man, I was into it.
Yeah?
And, yeah, you should check it out.
I will. I'll have a game.
It's old school. It's kind of cool, and I think it deserves more attention.
I like it.
Yep. I also have for more vampires. I think I mentioned in the previous episode, but he's not Dracula, so I can't bring him up. Alucard from Castlevania. Castlevania Symphony of the Night. That's who you play as that. Mm-hmm. That was for the first PlayStation. I dumped so many hours into that fucking game. Did you play that game?
Probably. I
Okay.
played every game, dude.
I hope you played Symphony of the Night. It's fucking classic. The castle's huge, and you go back and you play the upside down castle. So many capes and swords and shields. Such a great game.
Hey, man.
It was the first Castlevania of that type. They called it it was the originator of the Metroidvania style.
Okay.
That was the first one. It's
okay.
He's got white hair. He's got a black outfit. And he has a red, the red or black cape.
I know. I'm familiar with.
He can turn into a bat. He can turn into mist. He can turn into a wolf in the game.
Okay.
So there's like areas you go through where it's like you can't get by, but if you use bat, you can fly. Or there's like these grates, but if you turn into the mist, you can go through the grates. Good shit.
Money.
The monsters are epic.
Money.
Great game. So I had to bring that up.
Then there's Lady Demiski. No, okay. We've already talked about it like 4 times.
Oh my god! Listen, man, she took the world gamer world by storm for a while.
The internet by storm,
dude. I don't know. I think I was on Reddit or something because for a minute, Christina was going to be for Halloween last year. I was like, just do it. She's like, no, this is too much. I was like, it really isn't. It really isn't. She's pretty well clothed. No, I don't want to do it this year. Fine. So I was showing her pictures, and we stumbled on like some subreddit that was just. It was literally like CGI porn of her.
Oh.
And it was fucking weird.
You're like, this is so gross and weird. Save.
Save. What's
this website so I can report it?
Yeah. Wow. Like giving her other extra anatomy that's gigantic aside from her crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, there's fucking weirdos everywhere, bro.
Yep.
But just in case, so I can warn people.
Yeah.
What website was it?
It was honestly, it was a subreddit, and I don't know. It might have been just her name, but it was just it just came up from like Google results. Also, want to mention, there was an action figure series that came out. It was fucking awesome. And it was very short-lived. It was called Little Dracula. I never saw the cartoon, but I remember this very fun trip to Toys R Us. Yes, I remember specific trips to Toys R Us, as we've gone over a few times. Little Dracula. He's this little dude. He's a little Dracula, and he had light-up red eyes. I may or may not have one over there. I have one over there.
The theme song to that cartoon is so fucking weird.
It is.
It's like a hip-hop, like...
It's weird. It's like you're trying to... It's like it came out at such a weird time that you're like, dude, what were they trying for this? Because, like, I want to say this came out at the same time that the Nicktoons were out.
Didn't we? I think we just talked about this, actually.
Didn't we?
Yeah, I think we did on the toy episode, maybe.
Did we talk about Little Dracula?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We did?
We did, because I remember going, that theme song is fucking weird.
Yeah, I guess we did.
Yeah.
All right, sorry.
No, that's fine. It's fine.
No, I just had to bring him up because he's just... in my mind, it's this weird little blip that just happened, and, like... When it came out, it was such a weird time for things to be out. And like there's definitely a focus on horror at that time because Real Monsters was definitely out, and like I don't know, it's just.
Yeah, you were saying you didn't like the animation to that.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, last honorable mention because it just has to be brought up. Have to mention Count Orlok, the original from Nosferatu. Yes, it's a rip on Dracula, but can't have this episode without mentioning Max Schreck and Nosferatu, the original German classic. Still scary.
Yeah.
Still
and
fucking
then
weird.
Willem Dafoe's depiction in
Shadow of the Vampire.
Yeah,
that movie is tremendous. Yep. And for a while there, they were saying that Robert Eggers, the guy who directed The Witch and then The Northman and The Lighthouse, that his version of, because he's working on it now, he's doing Nosferatu, that they were actually getting Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
I was like, that is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, you get 2 versions of the movie with the same actor.
Yeah.
But now it's not. It's Bill Skarsgård, the guy who did Pennywise.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
So it'll be fucking weird because that guy does.
He probably had such a great time working on The Northman with him that he was like, "Yo, is your brother cool?" You know, he's like,
probably.
Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, my brother's cool."
Yeah,
talk to my brother.
Willem's like, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Do you know how much I sacrificed? So, all right, man. So
Spider-Man.
Can Spider-Man come out to play?
Yeah.
Finish it.
Oh.
Yep. So bad it's good. All right, so like we said at the top, now we're just going to close it up with favorite incarnation of Dracula. Now, actually, in doing the research for this, I was like, dude, this could have just been an episode of just talking about versions of Dracula.
Yeah, right.
There are so many wacky, but then really good, and then really terrible versions of Dracula, which we'll get to.
Yeah, so, all right. Once again, I was like, I can't say Monster Squad Dracula. I can't, because we talk about it so much.
Yeah.
I couldn't go there.
He's up here.
God tier. He's God tier.
Yeah.
He's, cool. He's got one-liners. He's like, you know what I mean? He's just breaking cops' necks.
Dude, that scene, and I know we talked about this like
All the time.
2 or 3 episodes ago, but like the part where he just walks up and, hey, what did you got? He just punches him right and just, that's it. Just,
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, like, so I went the other direction, and I feel like it doesn't get the love that it is. It's Leslie Nielsen, Dracula Dead, loving it, dude. I will never not crack the fuck up laughing at that movie. He's so funny in it, and it's such a, it's, oh my god, just
it's funny, man.
Him
Peter
Mel
McNichol
Brooks,
and Peter McNichol as Renfield.
Oh god,
so funny,
dude!
You just ate that spider.
What do you mean? When the girls are grunting, he's like, "What do you want about? What's all this then?" You know, he's like, "This is wrong, wrong me." Like,
yeah.
And then and Leslie Nielsen, like him and Mel Brooks's last word arguments. When the man, he always has to have the last word. You know, like dude, they're just like, oh my god, it's so good. And like his facial expressions when he's like, it's good, and like, you get so much of just like keyed up fucking knock it out of the park Leslie Nielsen. And he, those part where he's wearing the wig, from Bram Stoker's Dracula, and oh, it's so funny. I love that movie. I'll never not laugh at that movie.
No, it's funny as hell. And actually, any of those, that 90s Mel Brooks, Robin Hood Men in Tights, Dracula Dead and Loving It. What's the other one I'm forgetting? I don't know. I can't remember stuff today.
Yeah, that's fine. I can't either.
Great shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's actually a good pick just because, like, it is an awesome Dracula because of how fucking funny it is.
Yeah.
My favorite incarnation of Dracula, taking Duncan Regehr's version from Monster Squad off the table.
Yeah.
We're not going to mention Bella. He's the original.
Yeah.
Obvious choice here. Fucking Gary Oldman, man.
Yep.
You want to talk about God tier Dracula? And first of all, I know it's different than the book. I've read the book a ton of times. The book is boring for a lot of parts. It is. He fucking kills it in a way that I don't know if there's not many other actors that have taken a role and like just killed it and he like plays them as different versions of the character and just kills it in every way, and like at the end also and like gets you to care about him. Like shows up as old man Dracula and like has like the tit head like thing. You're like, what the fuck? But like it's so weird and he plays it so weird that it's like that's. In any other circumstances, this would be stupid. Yeah. But he's so weird and so creepy that you're like, this fucking works. Yeah. And then like the red like satin like cloak that he wears and the shadow that's a little bit off behind him. Yeah. That version is fucking amazing. Then he comes to London and he's like the young count,
the gentleman.
with the blue spectacles. Yeah. It's like, dude, like, and like he's got, and the suit is gray, so like in my mind it's like he has like a wolfish way about him because he's like on the hunt and he's trying to get Mina. So awesome. He woos her the whole time, like all his scenes there where he's like doing the damn thing. Yeah. When he got
the scene when he is old man one where the girls are in Keanu's bed and the way he floats in the room and does those movements.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all I can think about when I'm thinking of that version of Gary Oldman.
Oh, and that laugh in that scene. When like Keanu's like and he throws himself back to laugh, it's so good. Dude.
Yeah, it's so Gary Oldman.
But then like the evil look when you realize that they're eating a baby, it's like, oh shit, and it's like, but then when they mix this very sexual scene with a very fucked up scene, it's just like, damn, and then his transformations. So him as the wolf. When he's getting it on with Lucy, holy shit, and then like kills all those fucking dudes. Yeah. And then rips her apart.
The wolf fuck scene.
Yeah, exactly. The beast fuck scene. You beasted her. You beasted her. You know.
That's true. Oh, that's another honorable mention. We forgot.
It actually was going to be my.
What a
actually
great
was going to
movie.
be on this. Oh,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
Vampire in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Delivers on all levels.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Sorry if we forgot that.
It's all right.
Until now.
Oh, damn! It's hot in here.
You got the dropsies.
His transformation scenes, the wolf, and then the bat creature.
Right.
Oh, look what your god has done to me! And so good. Then he turns into a pile of rats.
Just like Nadja.
Right.
Season 1.
Right. And then you got him in the old man-ish version when he's in the like the gold cloak when he's fighting him at the end. He's like just backhanding bitches, and then they stab him. And then I forgot the first version when he's in the red in the Twizzler armor. When I was a kid, though, man, I still think it's badass.
Yeah.
Like he looks amazing because it's supposed to look like muscle fiber. So cool because, like, you know, Dracula, you have, you know, at that time it was like Dracula is the dude in the suit and the cape. You know, that's who he is. But then, like, you come out, he's this warrior in this red, like, devilish looking armor. He stabs the cross. I renounce God. All this crazy shit. The blood is the life.
Yeah.
Oh, like it's, dude. You cannot, with a straight face. And I know there's people out there that don't like that movie, and I don't know what's wrong with you. But there's people out there that don't like that movie. You cannot say with a straight face that he does not act his fucking nuts off in that movie.
Oh, nuts are off.
Like that is
nuts gone.
That's a clinic.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Bat him around.
Yeah. That, like, he's amazing in that movie. Like, there are things in that movie that are not awesome, but Keanu. But you know.
Yeah.
It's and also Doctor. Wolves chase me through some bloody blue inferno. It's so bad.
Yeah.
She's not good either.
Yeah, no. Winona. Yeah.
Anthony Hopkins fucking.
There was a running joke with me and my buddy Bern about their acting in it, and the whole time you were like, Anthony Hopkins just like, Winona. Mm-hmm. The other women are showing their tits. Show me your tits. Like that's what he did the whole time. You're here to show me your tits. You know, like
Yeah, he's an animal.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's.
Oh shit.
There's some. It's a great movie. I mean, even with Keanu and it being terrible, which I forget who there's somebody else that was supposed to play it, and I was like, dude, why didn't you just do that?
Well, because Keanu was a big name at the time, and
was he?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was a face. He was a hunk.
Yeah, but he's so terrible.
Hey man, didn't suck in Point Break.
It's the man himself. He's grown young. It's like, we can't do another take on this. Fucking Francis Ford Coppola.
They're
really?
like he was like that's the best take we got.
But then the other thing that also needs to be mentioned, I know we're just talking about a favorite version of Dracula, but all the effects were done in camera.
Right.
Huge deal.
Yeah.
Like these are like amazing, and if you watch the behind the scenes on that, it's like that movie from start to finish is like a work of art. So like, love that movie. Even the score opens up, bam, bam, like, love it.
Big time. It's big time.
It's God tier.
Yeah, God tier.
Yeah, he's like, it's hard to choose. Like, I have my three. It's Bela Lugosi, Duncan Regehr, and Gary Oldman. But like, Gary Oldman plays the character in more facets, so I have to give it to him.
Right.
He plays like 4 or 5 different versions of Dracula in that movie, so gotta give it to him.
Yeah. He was heavily drinking back then too.
Drinking.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that too. Yeah.
Out of his mind.
But they were saying too, like on set, like he was just like wasted.
Yeah.
Just like diving into all those like parts. Like he was just like.
Yeah, that was his process.
Yeah. Hey, killed it.
Nicholson, instead of Batman, he was skiing like a motherfucker. He was going down the Black Diamond.
Yeah, right. They called him Black Diamond on that set.
Yeah. Yep.
Love it. I mean, I don't know what other vampire that we missed or Dracula that we missed that needs to be mentioned. But you know what?
What's that?
The worst Dracula ever.
I'm actually going to give this last segment to you because I was going through it like worst. Like your pick, he trumps them all. Yeah. Like there are some goofy vampires from maybe like the 70s, and like, you know, I don't know. Christopher Lee's are great in their way, and the Hammer movies are their own mood. It's their own thing, and those are great for other reasons. But like, your pick is so bad.
If you don't know who we're talking about,
what's this actor's name? I can't even know his fucking name.
fuckface McElroy. I don't know. I don't even care to look. Van Helsing's Dracula. The movie Van Helsing, the Kate Beckinsale, Hugh Jackman vehicle. The movie's Silly's Fest from start to end.
Richard
Roxburgh's version of Dracula in that movie. He plays it overhanded. He overacts. He's like jinky. He like that's how.
But then also his house, like he has like
his hair.
My sloppy bun. I'm just going to work out. Like it's like this is what like. There's some.
This is a couple.
Yeah.
And he like walks up the wall. He's like complaining to the like, what have I not done? Eternity, my children. He has a bunch of bat eggs that he needs Frankenstein's monster
electricity
to awaken them.
I hate this movie on a cellular level. Even the werewolves looks like shit.
Oh yeah, the only thing that's cool about the werewolves is the idea that they just rip their skin off to become them. But no, that's the only thing that's cool.
Yeah.
It's all CGI.
The bride scene is all right when he's like they're flying through the air and he's trying to like stake them with the crossbow.
Yeah, but
even then,
yeah, the things that they're saying, like the lines that they're spewing out of their stupid mouths.
Stupid mouths.
Too bad, so sad. That's an actual line from that part, from that scene.
I don't dig it.
It's not good. And then I said it on Facebook actually in the beginning of the season. I said, "Hey, you guys remember that scene in Van Helsing where it turns out that Van Helsing is actually the Archangel Gabriel?" Yeah, I hate that too. It's so bad. Dracula's like, "You don't recognize me, Gabriel," and he's like, "What are you talking about?" Like that's how he plays Van Helsing. I don't know what you mean. This is my hat. I wear this hat. I have this crossbow.
Yeah, werewolves. Kate Beckinsale. Nice putt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, speaking of Kate Beckinsale, another little honorable mention. Not to go back, but Underworld 2. I think his character's name is Marcus, the like vampire, the dude who turns that like bat-like thing.
The original vampire. He's awesome.
Fucking awesome.
And the original werewolf that's all white and big. They're brothers. They're twin brothers.
Yeah, it was William and then Marcus.
Yeah.
The vampire is fucking,
so awesome.
Yeah, like the scene where they're on like the side of the mountain driving around and he's like flying and like, fucking him up. Yeah. And then he's all like beat the fuck up after he has to go like in that thing and like sleep and like cures it. Yeah. That's a cool looking vampire.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yep.
Way better than Van Helsing's Dracula.
I remember that was one of those movies. I actually remember being angry after leaving that movie. I'm like, I can't believe I just saw it. Like, even Frankenstein is so stupid.
Yeah. It almost is. Yeah.
He's gears. Yeah. It's so
He's
bad.
almost like young Frankenstein, like Peter Boyle. He's almost like that. Like, just in looks and like. And then he's like super poetic, like,
yeah, it's like someone should just come out. Shut the fuck up. I now know my least favorite Dracula.
Who?
This is like 3 or 4 years ago. Do you remember Netflix had a show, the Dracula show?
Yeah, I didn't even watch it.
I hate that show. I legit hate that show.
Didn't they kind of make it like a comedy at points?
The problem was the tone was so all over the place that you didn't know how to feel.
Right.
It was bad. The guy who played Dracula, it was just bad. And it was I remember the billboards were everywhere. I'm like, it's shit. And then he had, those clowns that are always like, no, it's good. You don't know because if you look at this, it's like, if I have to do all those mental gymnastics to make this thing good, means it's not good.
To force something into the good circle.
Means it ain't good. I remember watching that because I was excited. I was like, oh, me and Christina were she's huge into vampire movies.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, new vampire show. It looks like it's good. Like, it's a British production, which sometimes can be great or not. But I was excited about it, and like I remember coming on, I was just like, fuck this show. Like, they just made all these weird jumps.
Did you see the trailer for that new one that's coming out?
I don't know.
It's like a young chick, and like she's like the dad. She actually like eats people. He's like, you ate them all. I know it. You got to run before they get here.
Oh, yeah.
That looks kind of interesting. And there's a guy that's like hunting her, and like she finds the one kid from Dune who's also a vampire. That looks pretty cool. I think that looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I cannot think of the title, but I saw the trailer.
It's got one of those artsy titles.
Yeah. Yes. Yep. And then, did we bring up Let the Right One In?
I said when I was talking about from Interview with the Vampire.
Okay,
and
that's
Behind
right.
the Child, but
Yes, okay.
I liked the American remake too. Let Me In.
it doesn't have the same like despair that the original does.
Sure. But I like the dude who plays her like keeper. You know.
Thrall.
Yeah, I like he. It's the dad from Step Brothers and Jeffrey Dahmer's dad now apparently.
Richard Jenkins.
Yeah, I enjoy him.
No power tools.
Yeah.
Jeff, no power tools. Just stop being a fucking dinosaur.
Yeah. See, I can't even do it anymore. I lost it. No, I like that guy a lot. And
Yeah, I forgot he was in that movie.
yeah,
Yeah,
pours
he's-
fucking acid in his face when the
Yep.
cops are after him.
Yep. No, that original is fucking great.
Yeah.
It's and I think it works better because of like that area of the world up in. Is that a Norwegian film? I think it is.
I'm not sure.
It's in that area, Swedish, Norwegian.
Swedish.
Sure.
Yeah.
Exists in that area, and more dark during the winter, way more dark.
Yeah.
And it's just the loneliness and despair of that movie is very
Right.
interesting to me. And then another one that I want to bring up because I think it's vampiric. I mean, because she plays Lilith from the first VHS film.
Okay.
The Lilith segment.
Yeah.
That, I mean, whatever the movie, I remember you talked about the movie, but that segment is one of the best horror shorts I've ever seen.
It's good, man.
Like,
It's
you didn't
good.
see it coming. And it's
I
when
like
she,
you.
but when she goes for it, man, dude, it turns horrific.
Yeah.
And when she rips that dude's fucking D&B off.
Yeah.
And you see the sinew. Like,
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah. And that guy's in
Great.
the corner just laughing the whole time. I was like,
Yeah.
kill him next,
yeah,
please.
yeah. No, that.
I
one
like
of-
you.
Yeah, that was one of my a favorite vampire.
No, it's good.
I also don't like the vampire from Midnight Mass. Ooh, shocking! I think he was underutilized.
Sure. I still love that show.
I know.
The
vampire should have come up with some kind of. The vampire should have spoken. A creature that old
Right.
has been around for that long. Clearly, it's intelligent. There should have been a scene at the end where it said something
Okay.
and revealed some kind of truth. That was what was missing. It revealed some kind of insider truth.
Right. I thought the guy that played the Monsignor.
Oh, he killed it.
Oh my god.
I wasn't a huge fan of the show, but like I know a lot of people are, and I know why you are. But he did great. I mean, he
Yeah.
was fucking great. That guy put on a clinic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he was great.
I've been trying not to say, so.
Hey man, we have our words.
Yeah.
It's fine, and puts on a clinic.
I'm trying to think of any other just like shitty or really good vampire movie because there's a lot. It's going and
Oh, there's so many.
it's gonna keep going.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey, Once Bitten.
Well, that movie's been canceled.
Really?
Yeah.
Because she seduces him or something?
No, there's the shower scene.
I don't remember.
It's homophobic. So people are like, and I get it, but that movie is hysterical.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
That's the first time we saw Jim Carrey play his leg as a guitar.
What's her name? Is that Elizabeth Hutton? What's her name? She's great, and then the dude who plays Lamar in Revenge of the Nerds is her
Familiar. Yeah.
It's technically for vampires. It's a thrall. I don't
Yeah.
know why we've lost that word. That's Renfield is the thrall of Dracula. Anyway. Great movie.
Oh.
And it's just like it's so funny. Like when during the day when he's like starting to wear black and the
Yeah.
kids are like, "Hey,"
Yeah.
Yep.
It was like made for Jim Carrey.
That's and then like
First time he got to show off his goods.
Yep. And then like she can't, she needs the blood of the virgin, but then like hurry up, and they go into the coffin for
They come
4
out,
seconds.
Cigarette. And he's like,
Yep.
yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I think that does it for our favorites in pop culture. Pop culture, and film.
Pop's cultured.
Come on, Zeke. Pop's cultured and films. Sorry, our fumbling words today. Like I said, lots going on. But for this episode of Other Dangerous Podcast, I'm Ken James.
And I'm Jason McKittrick.
And as always, have a spooky evening. Thank you for listening to Other Dangerous Podcasts. Have you encountered the other dangers? If so, you can email us at otherdangerouspodcast@gmail.com. And if you'd like to have a discussion about the paranormal, you can find us at Other Dangerous Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. There you can find submitted pictures, videos, and artwork from listeners. We are now streaming on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else podcasts are streamed. And after listening, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so we can continue to bring you the other dangers.